What to do, MAC crew? Boy Dave's back again with another video. Look, we're gonna get straight to the business. Straight to the meat and potatoes. Micah Parsons and the Dallas Cowboys. More, I don't know, in particular, Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones. Look, it's getting to the point now, it's ridiculous, right? We don't know why they keep having to go through this contractual conundrum every single season. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, even Dez Bryant back in the day. And they don't seem to get it. They want to do it their way. And this is why I just believe that this franchise won't get any better no time soon. As long as Jerry and Stephen Jones have the keys to this operation. Now, do I believe that the Micah Parsons deal will get done? Yes. Him demanding a trade, yeah, whatever. It's for leverage. Hey, mind you, hold on. He's had the leverage this entire time. If I have a list, by the way, I have my Invisalign in, so it's going to sound kind of wonky. Now, back to what I was saying. Micah has all the leverage. He has all the leverage, and this is the worst way that you could possibly bring in a new coach that wants to change the culture. Why would you do this? Steven, Jerry, why? What are you gaining? Attention? That's how much attention you want? I think if I'm Micah, I really don't go back to the Cowboys. I'm sorry, I know he loves the Cowboys. I totally disregard that message that he said, "Thank you, Cowboys Nation," or whatever. Obviously, he had to propose that trade and, do what he had to do. However, I don't think he meant that, but I think he should. Jerry and Steven need a wake-up call. Badly. And we can let's use the Eagles. Philadelphia. There's no one that's going to fire these guys. No one is going to get rid of them. Nobody can get rid of them because they own the Dallas Cowboys. The Jones family owns the Dallas Cowboys. Nobody can get rid of them other than God. But anyway, we don't wish that on anybody. Micah needs to mean that he wants to be out of there because the Jones family really botched this up horribly. They botched this. Look, this should have been done earlier. And what people really don't understand is that the earlier that you sign contracts, you open up cap room, more space that you can sign other guys. You got Osa Odigizua out the way. You got other guys out the way. You just signed Jake Ferguson. Micah should have been your number one priority. Who doesn't take care of their guys? As soon as possible. And then the earlier that you sign them, you won't have to sign them to a higher contract than what you're going to have to assign him to later. Earlier, you could have paid him, roughly about 35 mil a year. Now you're going to have to pay him 45 million. You have to make him the highest paid non-quarterback in the league of all time. But had you done it earlier, or even just extended him last season, this is a bad look. And then it's like a turnoff to other players. Why would I want to go here? Because the ownership is just going to do this every time we got to talk about contracts. And then you try to pay the man. You try to go behind the agent's back. You try to go behind the agent's back and get the deal done. Where is that? When is that ever okay? For those out there that don't really understand, no, that's never okay. You always hit up their representation, get the deal done, get it done. I don't get it. I sincerely don't. But anyway, wow. And I really, Schottenheimer's getting a horrible. Bruh. This is a rant, by the way. This is a mini rant. Shotty is getting the worst end of the stick here. He's a new coach, and you bring him in this new coaching journey of his, and drama just ensues. Drama ensues. And even that, like, we look. Never fails, dog. We got CeeDee Lamb, Dalian Lamb, the greatest wide receiver to ever live. But that's a conversation for another day. CeeDee Lamb, obviously on Twitter, when Micah requested a trade, never fails, dog. Just pay the man what you owe him. No need for the extracurricular. I don't understand why you decide to go through this cycle every single year. It's every year. It's every year. It really is. You got one with Dak. You did it with Dak. You did it with, obviously, we saw you do it last year with CD, right? We thought you were going to do it with Osa Digizua, but you didn't, surprisingly. So, and then Jake Ferguson. Oh my God, that is what doesn't make any sense to me. You signed Jake Ferguson before you signed Micah Parsons. No shade to Jake Ferguson. None at all whatsoever. You signed Jake Ferguson before you took care of Micah Parsons, who's on a historic pace to be one of the greatest defensive weapons in NFL history ever. You don't take care of him. Why? How don't you get that done now? Because here's what's going to happen. Now it's going to come back a little laggy. This is what they do. This is what they do right here. Watch. Pay attention. I'm telling you. And I'm going to make another video to this. They're going to sign him, right? Later in camp. Hopefully they sign him today. Hopefully they sign him tomorrow. But they need to sign as soon as possible. As soon as possible. Anyway. But they're going to end up signing him, right? Let's say it's going to be a little later. Let's say it's in 2 weeks. The season starts in that other 2 weeks. September 4th against the Philadelphia Eagles at Lincoln Financial Stadium. So now then what they're going to do, they're going to be like, oh, we signed Micah. We're so excited, blah, 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 right? And then Micah's going to come out slow. I guarantee it. Micah's going to come out slow. And they're going to be like, oh, we shouldn't have paid him that much. Just like they just slandered Terrence Steele. Granted, Terrence Steele is not the best right tackle I've seen in my life, but he's serviceable. There was no need to slander him. Why would you? And then you bought up. This is a ridiculous offseason. This is a bad offseason. As far as from the front office standpoint, but from a football standpoint, on the field, they're not doing bad at all. Actually, they're taking care of business. Getting guys in, rotating guys out, seeing what your weaknesses are, seeing what your weaknesses aren't, seeing what you're really strong at, seeing what you will need help with. Badly. Hint. Mozzie, you need a one tech. You need a one tech. You need a one tech. Look, this is supposed to be a video about Micah Parsons. So look, like I told you earlier, this might be a Dallas Cowboy fan rant. Who cares? The front office drives me this way. Now, again, I know this is going to get paid. Micah's going to get paid, whether it's here or whether it's elsewhere. Micah's going to get paid. Believe it, Micah Parsons will get paid. Either in a Dallas Cowboy uniform or not in a Dallas Cowboy uniform. He will get paid. He's going to be one of the greatest defensive players that we've seen in our time. One of. I said one, not the. Just one. And this is a horrible coach. You can't. And I'm going to bring back what I said about Shoddy. Shoddy said he wants to create a culture. Culture also starts up top. It starts at the very, very top. The coach can only do but so much. Because ownership going to get in the way every single time. For instance, at your job, right? Your boss has a boss. If your boss is tripping out, spazzing out, well, I can't say that, but yeah, tripping out, going crazy, his boss, which is usually like an exec, more than likely, they're gonna come down and they're gonna be like, oh, well, look, you over here doing this, that, and that is not the code of conduct. You are not doing your job. We're gonna have to fire you. That is not in Dallas. That doesn't reside in Dallas. I tell you where it does though. In Washington, in Philly, in Kansas City, Denver, San Fran. And I can compare, the only front office I can compare to this dysfunctional and unfortunate front office of mine, the Cincinnati Bengals. They run it the same exact way. A bunch of cheapskates. It's neither here nor there though. Pay your guys. Pay your guys. Pay them. Pay them. Pay them. Pay them. Because they're out there making the money. Newsflash, we want to see players. We don't care about the front office. We don't care about Jerry Jones. We don't care about Stephen Jones. We could care less about them. As fans, we do not care about them. I don't know who buys a ticket to see Jerry Jones. No. We get tickets to see CeeDee Lamb be CeeDee Lamb. Dak be Dak. Dak be better. Micah be Micah. Demo being Demo. That's why our tickets. That's what our tickets go to. We never want to see Jerry Jones. I promise you, we don't want to see Jerry Jones in the middle of a football field making plays. Granted, that might be a little entertaining, but I don't want to see that. I want to see I don't know what Dallas fan doesn't want to see us win a Super Bowl. We want to win a Super Bowl, but we're not going to with this type of behavior. Gotta get this figured out. Again, I will reiterate. I know Micah's going to get paid. He will get paid. Of course he's going to get paid. It's Micah. He's going to get paid. Whether it's here or whether it's elsewhere, he will get paid. But if you want to keep your fan base intact, this stops immediately. Because it's a distraction. Now it's not about winning. It's not about winning. And winning organizations don't operate like this. And Jerry made a very unintelligent point the other day. He was like, we also, Emmett, this happened with Emmett, and then Emmett, we signed Emmett two games into the season and we won a Super Bowl. Yeah, you did, didn't you? Yeah. Kenny Norton's not on your football team anymore. Charles Haley isn't on your football team anymore. Deion Sanders isn't on your football team anymore. Matter of fact, Emmitt Smith isn't on your football team anymore. Michael Irvin isn't on your football team anymore. Those guys aren't here. Okay, that was a different time. There's an entire generation that has never seen the Dallas Cowboys win a Super Bowl ever. Never. I'll do you one better. There's an entire generation that has never seen the Dallas Cowboys advance to the NFC Championship game. Never seen it. No, we've never seen that. We've never had that luxury. This was supposed to be a Micah Parsons video. I don't really care. It's getting to a point now where you go into the season expecting failure. You don't know when it's going to happen. Primary example. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm going this way with this video, but I'm going this way. When Dallas had those 12-5 seasons, 21, 22, and 23. It might be kind of weird how I counted that. I counted like the 21-22 season, and then 22-23 season, and then 23-24 season. Hopefully you understand what I'm talking about. I knew for a fact that something was going to happen after that first time we went 12-5. I just knew it. What's going to happen? What is going to derail us? What's going to be our downfall? We weren't disciplined in 21. 22, Dak was throwing too many interceptions. 23, we couldn't stop the run. Or we were always beating up on people that were below us. But when it became a matchup with people that were the same weight class as us, or they were outside of our weight class, we couldn't box with them. We couldn't hang with them. This is what's wrong with the Dallas Cowboys. Doesn't get fixed until those two are gone. It doesn't. And it's sad to say, it really is. But I don't know. I don't know what else. I don't know. I don't know. And here we are. We're prepping for a great season, hoping that we're gonna have a good season. We can't get out of we can't get out of our own way. And this happens in the season too with the players that are on the field. Granted, Jerry can't go out there and win you football games. That's true. But he can be a huge factor as to why you aren't doing better than what you're doing. Another example. I'm glad you asked for another example. I know you did. Well, if you made it this far in the video, make sure you subscribe and like the video, because I actually put thought into this video. I wasn't going to do it, but I did. Yeah, I did. I absolutely did. Because this is ridiculous, but make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Now, back to my thought. An example of he's not the reason, Jerry and Steven, they're not the reason why we're bad, or they're not the reason why no, they are. They're a huge reason. But example, 22-23, that season where we lost because Dak was throwing all them interceptions. All we needed was another wide receiver. Brandon Cooks was right there. He was right there. Right there. And he was ready to leave Houston. At the trade deadline. Oh my God, I remember it like it was yesterday. At the trade deadline, they were talking about, we were talking to them, blah, 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 blah. We're talking. And it happened all day. And then in typical Cowboys fashion, they let it get away. They said, and I quote, the trade deadline caught us. We didn't have enough time. You had all day. In fact, you had all the days, all of those days leading up to the trade deadline to get something going. Brandon didn't want to be in Houston, and he knew he didn't want to be in Houston. You settled for T.Y. Hilton. Granted, I love that 3rd and 30 catch. He didn't help us in the 49er game. Granted, again, Dak Prescott didn't. Apparently, he went to that game with his eyes closed. But I digress. But anyway, this has to change. This has to change. This has to change. I'm over it. I really am. I'm over it. I am over how they do these players. I am. And really, this video is like majority. Yeah, it is. It's about the front office. Yep, it's about the front office. It's about the front office. All right, because they failed us so many times. Only time I don't blame them is 2014 when Dez caught it. Yes, he caught it. Don't tell me he didn't. If you tell me he didn't catch it, might be a problem in the comment section. Just might. Might make a video about you. Just might. Don't push me that way though. Don't push me that way. So yeah, you made it this far in the video. Again, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm always on Twitch too. MHT_Davis. It's the same as the Instagram. Make sure you tap in there. I'll be making more videos. I just figured out I could record on OBS. I've been going live on Twitch all this time, and I haven't been recording on OBS. That's humiliating. However, we're gonna just keep going on. We're gonna keep doing what we're doing. So yeah, I will probably end up ranting. There's another thing. Yeah, subscribe, because I'll be doing this. I will be doing post game reactions, pre-game and post game reactions. Depends. Actually, not thinking about it. I'm going through everything right now. I'm going through my thought process. If it's on a Sunday, I probably will just do a I'll just do that Saturday. Yeah, I'll do that Saturday night and post it on Sunday. and then I'll do the post game interview. Well, not post game interview. Post game. Yeah, post game thoughts or reaction after the game. So yeah, that's how that'll work. So look for, subscribe, because that game that we play, and it won't just be, granted, it just won't be Dallas Cowboys. It'll be NFL. It'll be just like, it'll be like what we did for the NBA Finals and the NBA playoffs. This time I'll be more, well, at least I'll try. I'll try to be more consistent. But expect a video tomorrow, because I'll be doing another video tomorrow. As long as the Dallas Cowboys are here, I will always have something to talk about. And I'll talk about something else. Probably the Washington Commanders and how they are lapping us right now. All right, catch you later. Peace.